Disney, World of English, Bedtime Reviews, 2. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The name of the story is The Circus Comes to Town. One day, 2 painters painted a sign. One of the painters was fat. The other painter was thin. They painted the sign with big brushes and lots of red paint. The thin painter stood on top of a tall wooden ladder. The painters painted tall red letters. Finally, the sign was finished. It said, "Come to the circus, come one and come all." Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy saw the sign. So did Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were very excited. They asked if there would be lions, tigers, elephants, and clowns at the circus. When the circus train came to town, Huey, Dewey, and Louie watched with excitement. They saw all the cars and all the animals inside the cars: lions, tigers, bears, elephants, horses, and a big fat hippo. There were acrobats and clowns in the circus train, too. What a wonderful circus it would be! Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The story is called Huey, Dewey, and Louie Go to the Circus. After they saw the circus train, Huey, Dewey, and Louie were so excited they thought about the circus all day long, while they were eating lunch, while they were playing, while they were eating dinner, and while they were getting ready for bed. That night, they even had dreams about the circus. The next day, Huey, Dewey, and Louie ate breakfast very fast. They put on their clothes very fast, and off they went to see the circus band. Then they went to buy tickets for the circus. There was a long line of people waiting to buy tickets. Finally, it was Huey's turn. He bought 3 tickets for his brothers and for himself.
I'd like 3 tickets, please,
he said to the ticket seller. There were so many things to buy at the circus. Ice cream, popcorn, balloons, candy, and peanuts. Huey bought a big box of popcorn. Dewey bought a big bag of peanuts. Louie couldn't decide what kind of balloon to buy, a long one or a round one. Finally, he bought a round one. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The story is called The Little Circus Bear. Everyone in the circus tent was looking up at the little circus bear. The little circus bear was riding along a rope almost at the top of the tent, high up in the air. The little circus bear looked down at all the people. He waved to them. The little circus bear rode forwards. Then the little circus bear rode backwards. Everyone clapped. The little circus bear started to ride to the other side of the rope. Suddenly, the rope started to wiggle. The little circus bear started to wiggle too. Oh no! Would the little circus bear fall down, down, down to the ground below? The little circus bear didn't fall. He rode all the way to the other side. Everyone cheered. Hooray for the little circus bear! Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The story is called The Lion Tamer. Everyone in the big circus tent listened to Mickey as he presented the lion tamer and the lion.
Presenting the Lion Tamer! And his lion!
The lion tamer was not at all afraid of the lion. The lion wasn't afraid of the lion tamer either. But all the people in the circus tent were very, very afraid. Everyone was very quiet. The lion tamer walked up to the lion's cage. He opened the door of the cage. He walked inside. He cracked his whip. He made the lion do tricks. He made the lion sit up.
Sit up!
He said, and the lion sat up. He made the lion stand.
Stand up!
He said, and the lion stood up. He made the lion jump through a ring.
Jump!
He said, and the lion jumped through the ring. Finally, he made the lion jump over a stick.
Jump!
He said, and the lion jumped over the stick. The people clapped and cheered. Hooray for the lion, they shouted. Hooray for the lion tamer. The lion tamer walked out of the cage and closed the door. He took a bow and walked away. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The story is called The Missing Peanuts. Every morning, Mickey the zookeeper did the same thing. After he got up, washed his face, and got dressed, he took 2 buckets and went to get breakfast for the animals. He kept the animals' food in a shed. When he got to the shed, he unlocked the door with his key and filled the buckets with peanuts. One very cold morning, Mickey got to the shed, unlocked the door, and went inside, just as he always did. But this time, the peanut bags were open, and some of the peanuts were missing. The next day, more peanuts were missing. And the next day, even more were missing.
There's a thief in the zoo,
said Mickey, and he went to the telephone to call a detective. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The story is called Detective Goofy Comes to the Zoo. Mickey the zookeeper called Detective Goofy on the telephone. He told him about the missing peanuts.
Detective Goofy?
Said Mickey.
I think there's a thief in the zoo.
Detective Goofy told Mickey that he would be there right away.
I'll be right over,
He said. Detective Goofy packed his bag. He put in everything that he might need. He took a lot of different things because when you're a detective, you never know what you might need. When he had finished packing, he put on his hat and rushed to the zoo. As soon as Detective Goofy got to the zoo, Mickey took him to the shed where he kept the peanuts. Detective Goofy asked Mickey a lot of questions. Mickey told him that the door to the shed was always locked. He had the only key. The thief couldn't have gotten into the shed through the door. He must have gotten in another way. Detective Goofy looked everywhere for a clue. Finally, he found one. There was a hole in the wall of the shed.
The thief must have come in through this hole,
He said. Detective Goofy didn't know yet who took the peanuts, but he told Mickey he soon would. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The name of the story is Detective Goofy's Second Plan. Goofy had all of the animals try to reach the peanuts through the hole in the shed, but none of the animals could reach them. The zebra couldn't, the bear couldn't, the hippo couldn't, and neither could the elephant, the monkey, the giraffe, or the kangaroo. Mickey and Goofy didn't know who could have taken the peanuts. Goofy had another plan. He hammered some nails into the wall. He wound some string around the nails. To one end of the string, he tied a bell. To the other end, he tied the bag of peanuts. Then he went outside. And poured blue paint in front of the hole. When the thief came through the hole, He would walk on the string and make the bell fall. He would also walk through the blue paint. That night, the thief came to the shed. Very slowly, very quietly, and very carefully. But as the thief walked through the hole, he fell on the string and the bell crashed to the floor. Goofy woke up and ran after the thief, but the thief was already gone. He left one clue: 8 footprints in the blue paint. What animal had 8 feet? The octopus, of course. Goofy ran to wake Mickey up so that Mickey could take him to the octopus. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story. The story is called Detective Goofy Finds the Thieves. Mickey took Goofy to see the octopus. Goofy took a bag of peanuts with him. Goofy went into the water with the octopus. He tried to give the octopus a peanut, but the octopus wouldn't take any peanuts from Goofy. The octopus hated peanuts.
The octopus can't be the thief,
said Goofy. But then, who could it be? Mickey and Goofy started to walk back to the shed. On their way, they passed 2 bears. The 2 bears had made 8 footprints. 4 footprints each. Maybe the 8 footprints in the blue paint had been made by 2 animals. Maybe there were 2 thieves. Goofy thought and thought. Who could the 2 thieves be? While he was thinking, he passed Chip and Dale in a tree. Suddenly, he knew who had taken the peanuts. He looked at Chip's feet. He looked at Dale's feet. Both of them had blue paint on the bottoms of their feet. Goofy pointed at Chip and Dale.
You took the peanuts,
He said. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Once there was a sorcerer. The sorcerer knew all about magic. He had a wonderful magic hat. When he wore the hat, he could do wonderful things that other people couldn't do. The sorcerer had a helper named Mickey. Poor little Mickey. He had to do all the sorcerer's work. All day long, from the time he got up until he went to bed, all Mickey did was work, work, work. Sometimes he was so tired he thought he would drop to the floor. Then he would think,
If I had the sorcerer's magic hat, I wouldn't have to work anymore. I would do everything with magic.
One day, the sorcerer went out and left his hat on the table. Mickey put the hat on.
Now I'm a sorcerer too,
He said,
I can dance and sing and play all day. I won't have to work at all.
Mickey tried his magic on the broom. He told the broom to move, and the broom moved. In fact, it grew arms and feet. Then he told the broom to pick up the buckets, go up the stairs, and fill them with water at the well. The broom did just what Mickey said. It picked up the buckets, went up the stairs, and filled the buckets with water. Then Mickey told the broom to bring the buckets back downstairs and to pour out the water. The broom did everything Mickey told it to do. It brought the buckets back downstairs and poured out the water. Mickey was a sorcerer. The broom had done his work. Now get into bed, close your eyes, and listen to the story, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. When the broom started to do the work, Mickey was as happy as he could be. Just think, as long as he wore the magic hat, he wouldn't have to work at all. And magic was so easy. Mickey danced around the room. Then Mickey sat down in the sorcerer's big chair and told the broom to start working. And that's just what the broom did. It started to work. While the broom did the work, Mickey slept. What an easy life! Suddenly, something cold and wet woke Mickey up. Mickey opened his eyes. There was water everywhere, and the broom was still pouring water onto the floor. Mickey told the broom to stop, but the broom didn't stop. It kept on pouring water on the floor. Mickey didn't know how to make the broom stop. Then he saw his axe standing by the wall. He took the axe and chopped the broom into tiny pieces of wood. When he was finished, he started to think about how to clean up all the water. But then, something very strange happened. The pieces of wood started to move. Each piece of wood turned into a broom with arms and feet and 2 buckets. And all the brooms started to get water from the well and pour it onto the floor. Mickey tried and tried to make them stop, but they wouldn't. The water got deeper and deeper. Poor Mickey! He didn't know enough magic to make the brooms stop working. He tried to find the magic words in the sorcerer's big magic book, but he couldn't find them. Just then, the sorcerer came back. The sorcerer looked around the room. He knew what had happened. He lifted his arms, and the brooms and the buckets and the water disappeared.